Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Boksa. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BookingKoala, and I wanted to make you guys this video because I see a lot of the times couple things. One, people are struggling setting up their BookingKoala the right way, or they hire people that don't know what they're doing, or are simply just trying to take advantage of you because they are getting something out of it, like an affiliate who maybe is getting paid a lot of money to sell you some kind of setup that you really don't need. Okay, and this is why I'm making this video. I'm also making this video because a lot of people don't know, but I actually started a service business as my first business. So when I was 19 years old, I started a home cleaning company like many of you guys are today. And I grew that with my best friend to over $15 million eventually. Okay. I still own that home cleaning service. It's in Chicago, and I'm actually going to show you my setup. And of course, this is the setup that I think is the best one, but not only based on opinion, it's also based on what I see others succeeding in, right? So I can tell who has the best setup that's producing the best results. And a lot of the times it's because they're copying me, right? We sell information. We have an implementation guide as well that I made that you guys are welcome to join as well, that a lot of people get that as well, and then they have that set up, so they are already using these setups that I teach. And I'm positioned from a from a perspective where we built this system. I've designed majority of this system, and we know exactly which options are going to produce the best results. So there's sometimes so many people on the premium plan, for example, that are not using the correct setup, okay, or that are only using one thing out of that premium package when there are so many different things that you can leverage to not only save time but produce so much more income, so much more money. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you my exact setup, and of course, I'm going to try to keep this pretty detailed, and the setup's going to cover how your booking structure should look like, whether you should use a lead form, booking form, what website you should use, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and start from the website. Okay, so my website looks like this, and this is all built out on Booking Koala. Okay, so one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is um, Booking Koala can handle your website, and you should be using it anyways, especially if you're a beginner. There's absolutely no reason to go somewhere else. Okay, it can handle SEO. Okay, and you guys can go ahead and Google something like maid service Chicago. You'll see that we're on first page or maybe second page now. We do absolutely no link building or anything like that, which means that we're in such a competitive market. Chicago is such a competitive market with so little link building. I mean, we spend zero on SEO, and it's capable of ranking that high. Um, in all fairness, most likely because in the early days we spent a lot of money on link building, so it probably still holds some, SEO juice and whatever it may be called, and that's why we're probably still ranking that high. But it is capable of doing SEO. And the other thing that I want you to keep in mind is everything we build and we put inside of Booking Koala by default is the best setup usually. Okay. Why? Well, because we want you to already use the best setup. Sometimes, someone may not want to use that setup and they want to do something else because they either A, don't know better, B, they're used to something else, or C, again, someone taught them a method that does not produce the best results. And I'll go ahead and give you an example, okay? So this will actually go ahead and fall into the booking structure and why you guys need to show pricing and why you need to show why you need to use a booking form, okay? And not a lead form. So lead forms sometimes are good more often are good if you're providing very, very high ticket um, services like plumbing. Maybe that's going to cost a couple $1,000s, or um, I don't know what else would there be that's, HVAC, electrician, something like that. That's where lead forms are preferred. But for services that are not high ticket, if someone is not showing pricing, I'm going to give you an example right here. Okay, so if I, for example, am looking to book lawn care or home cleaning or gutter cleaning, and I do, right? I'm a homeowner, so I do those things, not necessarily home cleaning because um, I own a home cleaning company, but these other services, I might be watching TV and I'm going to go, okay, let's go to Google, let's find like three local people. If these people are not showing me their prices up front, I'm not going to select, I'm not going to fill out a booking form and wait for someone to call me. I'm just going to skip that service entirely. And that's what most people don't tell you. They're going to be like, set up a lead form, capture the information, and that's it, right? You want to upsell them for as much money as possible, but there's a better setup. And what they don't tell you is that if you don't show pricing, so many good customers are never going to even acknowledge you. And that's the problem, right? Today, in this time of age, if you guys are not showing pricing, you guys are letting go of some of the best customers. These customers literally take care of themselves. They want to book on their own. Later, they want to go into their accounts and change stuff, add tips on their own, leave reviews on their own, and you literally don't have to buy and pay for resources to take care of these customers. And oftentimes these people pay more. Okay, so that I'm going to show you. So this is a little bit of a background of why our setup is in a certain way. So I want you to kind of see how you should be setting it up. And so let's go to my booking form. Now you already know that, okay, everything is built out on BookingKoala for my company, and at one point it wasn't. We built our website on WordPress, then later custom website on Drupal, and all of that costed so much money, and then eventually we just transitioned everything over to BookingKoala. So again, if a multi-million dollar business that has done over 15 million in revenue and is still doing huge numbers every single year with high profits, is using the website builder. Don't let somebody sell you on the idea that no, 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 don't use the website builder, use something else. And I will go ahead and give you why we switched actually before we continue to the booking forms. We switched because it takes seconds to make changes. And as a business owner, especially if you run, so many things by yourself, you want to cut costs, which are expensive developers that do things for you, and change things very quickly, right? If you're not a professional coder, or you don't know how to, change things in HTML or anything like that, you do everything here within seconds. And that was key because I like to sometimes go in and change things by myself quickly. And if you have a developer that you have to get involved with and they have a lot of clients, well, good luck. It might take a week or two to make a simple change or add something on. And that is not something that I wanted. And you'll see that's not something that you'll want. You'll just want to quickly, let me go ahead and pull it up. You'll quickly want to go inside the website builder, which is so easy, and to make changes. That is the huge um, upside of using this simple website builder inside of BookingKoala. Okay, and you take a look. You want to change the button name, test something else, and again, everything. If you're a beginner, if you're starting out, use the templates and don't change too much of the things except like logo colors to match your branding, all of that good stuff, because everything is already built out from a conversion standpoint. So again, I've been in the business for a very long time, and I've seen thousands of people and all of their websites and all of that stuff. So everything is already built out, um, the layout wise and the text wise, from a conversion standpoint. So what's going to sell the customer best? And you want to use this to change your text, change your colors to match your branding, your logo, and all of that good stuff, and then leave the layouts. As you could see, it's very easy. And even if you go on my website, you'll see that we literally use the same layout. Why would I be using the same layout if it wasn't converting the best. Why wouldn't I build something else, right? So that's the key that you have to understand. It's already, everything here is set up from a conversion standpoint, so you don't have to do much. Again, if you really want to know how to literally set every single thing inside a BookingKoala properly, go ahead and click somewhere below. There will be an implementation guide, and if it's your first time setting up a BookingKoala account and you're you're going live, you still haven't gone live, you get to take advantage of the 50% off BookingKoala premium deal, which also will give you the guide included in that for free. So it's a huge, huge opportunity. Make sure you get that. Okay. So website builder, you could see how quickly just show you. You could edit stuff. You change something, it's going to show up. That's how easy it is. You want to add sections in, you can go ahead and add these in. And all of that good stuff. But keep in mind, again, all from a conversion standpoint. So when you go onto my website and you compare, it's going to be fairly very similar, right? Apart from a couple things that I've added. And of course, over time, as you get more information, you should add these things and you should improve your website. But of course, this is going to be the starting point for a new business owner that's launching. So again, use what you have, and then you'll see your, of course, welcome to test your own conversions, and you guys will be able to see and compare yourself. And then slowly, of course, as you grow, test what happens when I add this section. Does it make a difference? What happens if I change, this whole page? Does it make a difference? And then you guys will be able to see for yourself. But that's something to keep in mind when you guys are starting with the website builder. And now let's go on to the booking forms. So our booking form, we, for my cleaning company, we use the premium form. A standard on all accounts, you get to see the one-step form. Okay, that's the default one. However, you'll get to see that if you take advantage of the BK premium offer, or you're on premium, multi-step form is better. It converts better. There is a certain structure that we'll go over right now that will go ahead and allow you to close more deals, more clients, and all of that good stuff. So now let's start from the beginning. This is the most important part. This is like the engine of your business, right? The website and the booking forms, and how you flow all of your marketing, all of your customers. Okay. So now this is how we do it. So we, of course, show pricing. You want to show pricing. And there's going to be three types of clients that are going to book. And it kind of combines like the lead form and a booking form into one. So you don't miss opportunities and you still get to collect leads. So what's going to happen? One, we're going to get people that come to your booking form and never do anything. Okay. Then we're going to have people that are going to come to your booking form and they're going to leave some kind of information. Those are the best opportunities. And that's the big upside of this multi-step form in the premium plan. And then they're going to be people that are going to come and they're going to complete the booking. Okay. Those are the people that, if you just have a lead form, you're missing out on those people. And you'll see that lead form versus this, it's at the end of the day is going to produce, this is going to produce way better results, because with the lead form, you're only getting one and two, but you're not getting the people that are going to complete the booking on their own. And tons of those people would have never gave you information or filled out your lead form in the first place. Because, like I said, in today's age, if you are not showing prices to customers and allowing them to book, you are hurting yourself. So do not listen to anybody that's telling you just have a lead form. And I'm not saying, hey, because we use booking forms and BookingKoala sells booking forms, do it. No, because you can set up a lead form as well. You don't have to have if you sign up for BookingKoala, you don't have to have a booking form. You can use our lead form, which could be created inside your website builder, collect the lead, and literally, it doesn't hurt us whatsoever. So like I said, I want you guys to be as most, as most successful as possible, because if you guys, are successful and the information I give you is the best out there, you guys will see, wow, okay, BookingKoala is the best. I need to keep using it because this produces the best results. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. I would use a lead form too on my website if that was the thing that is producing the best results, okay? But it's not. It's this setup right here. So, and that's why we created it, right? And one thing that you guys have to understand about me is I love to look through information wherever it is, and I love to study other softwares, not our competitors, direct competitors, indirect competitors, or other softwares that are, maybe selling e-commerce or anything like that. And I get to see what they're using. Okay. And I'm like, okay, wow, this is amazing. This is going to work. Let's bring this onto BookingKoala because I can see the value in this. And this is the stuff that I do. That's my biggest thing. I try to bring these best features or think of these best features that are going to produce the absolute best results and then deliver them in here so that everybody wins. Okay, so here, let's get into this setup finally. So, okay, we have this booking form, and one, we show pricing. And now, first step, zip code, important. There is a video about this inside the implementation guide specifically, just like on so many of these steps. You want to have zip codes as the first thing. A lot of people want to get rid of these or move this down the line, but you'll see. Do a simple chat GPT search and ask why you should have zip codes for service businesses as the first step of the booking form. It will tell you it increases conversion rates and it pre-qualifies the right users. It gives them the right information and all of that good stuff. Because if somebody's um, filling out your form and then you tell them down the line, hey, I don't service your area, that already hurts your brand perception. Okay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to waste their time like that. And people do remember that. Sometimes they'll be pissed. Like you'll see some people will literally spend a long, long time on your booking form searching information. And then all of a sudden they get to a step that, um, that tells them we don't service your area after 2 hours of research on your brand. That's going to be a problem. Okay. So you don't want that. There are little things that you'll see. We've tested this before and we've actually got a 1-star review because of that. So there are things like that that you try to get rid of so you don't, for example, you don't even get those 1-star reviews because of something like that. Okay, so again, someone put in a zip code and now they're searching for they're going through what they want. So this is kind of going to give them an idea of what they want. It's structured, and this is for any service, right? This is going to be for any service. You want to follow the structure. Of course, you're going to change um, the text and what you offer, but the structure is going to stay the same. It's going to produce very good results. So now we're going to click next, and I actually have another form here that I filled out some information. So we'll go back. So it's the same thing. We filled the first step, and now we're here. And I pre-filled some information, and now they get to continue. Okay, a little bit more. So this is kind of like what I like about this is that it kind of gives them an idea of a little bit of, it's kind of like a pre-nurture before you ask for information, because some people, and this is another thing about lead forms, some people will not even fill out your form because they're like, well, okay, why, why would I fill out this form? And then some people will of course think like, well, I should have already saw price or whatever. I don't have to fill out my information to get that. But why this is important is because it works psychologically, because they already started the process. And again, you could, if you haven't already learned about this or read books about this and stuff like that, you'll get to learn that when someone starts a process, they're much more likely to give you any sort of information. So here on the first step, they already did a little bit of work. We divided that so they don't feel overwhelmed. That's why the multi-step form works. Now they're on the next step. And by the way, if you're on starter or growing plan and you don't, you're not on premium where you have access to multi-step form, you could still do a lot of this. It's just not going to produce the highest conversions. And I would even use the two-step form instead of the default one-step form, because it breaks it down into at least two steps where payment is on the second step instead of first. And you could of course go further with the multi-step form. So I'm just letting you guys know that you can do a little bit better than the one-step form. So again, going back to this, they already started information on the first step. Now they're on the second step and they're like, okay, a little bit more. Let me fill out a little bit more. And then this step, this is kind of like a thing that you have to keep in mind. The more you put on the form, the higher chances of someone being overwhelmed, getting overwhelmed and leaving, or just, just not continuing and bouncing. But we've included this because it's important for them to know. Actually, I'm not the one who included this. Someone else included this in. If I was, I would personally remove this and move that somewhere down the line so that, if they learn about this, they don't bounce off. And I would definitely keep this higher. So I actually might do that myself. But yeah, so I would probably keep this higher. But here we go. So here's the big thing. So now they've already started giving you a lot of information and they get to this part, which is super important. They're more likely to give you the information because they're already with the momentum of, working on the form. So now this is the big part. This is where you capture this, and they don't have to click next. As soon as somebody started putting in their email address here, you get to capture that information. And then, they click next. And now, they can bounce. I mean, they could bounce before that, because as long as they put in here, here, and now they're still thinking about it before submitting the rest, you already have this stuff. And I'll actually show you on a different form so that you know how it looks like. Okay, so we're going to go into leads. This is the lead section, premium feature, very powerful. So, and this is how it's going to look. So I'm only showing you this in a different form, because if I go into the King of Maids one, that's going to show all of our customers and personal information, which you never want to do. Sometimes, one thing I see is consultants sometimes, make videos and show inside of their accounts and they show their customers information. Big mistake. Don't do that. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So don't do that if you become a consultant in the future, which, so many of our customers do. A lot of BookingKoala users do, especially if they get to a certain point, then they become consultants teaching others. And that's just how, it is today with anything. E-commerce stores, people become consultants later, teach you how to set up stores. And that's just how it goes. So just letting you know for the future, make sure you don't share those things. Okay, so where were we? I was going to show you how that works. Okay, so here I'm on the part of the booking form, and you could see, remember Joseph. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and fill something out. Something random, and then a phone number. Okay, and I'm going to go back to here, and let's refresh. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's pretty much instant. So you have the details. Okay, you have the details almost immediately. It's going to label this person as a hot lead, and it's going to give you what they've done so far. So view details. So you could look at this person and see what they've been working on. So right here, this is as much as they've completed. It's pretty much the default stuff. If they complete more, leave notes or whatever, you get to see it. And if they bounce, you have the details. So this is super important from the leads module, because again, this acts as your lead form, right? It's pretty much almost identical, and you keep the third part, right? So you get them started. You want to remove as much friction as possible. That's key. That's why I don't like this over here, because it's adding on friction. It should be removed, and it's been here for a while because I've made a bunch of videos. I mean, it still works, as you could see, but I need to test for myself if it's going to work better if we remove this. It should, because based on what I know, removing friction, this adds friction, especially if they read something. But again, I understand why someone put this in here, because again, it tells you right off the bat, just like a zip code would pre-qualify you, whether you service or not. It will tell you, okay, some kind of rules like um, we cannot completely complete any cleanings of this, that, right? So if somebody already is kind of booking, honestly, this might actually help you as well, because it kind of tells you. So I have to test this for myself, if no one tested it, if it actually will increase conversions or decrease conversions depending on if this is removed. But again, so this again acts as a lead form. So let me tell you now how to continue with this. So like I mentioned before, super important for you guys to keep in mind. One, people will sometimes leave at the moment they click book now. Sometimes they'll get to the second step, look at this, maybe look at this, maybe look at this, and not fill anything out and leave, right? And then there's going to be the second type of people that will leave the information, which is a gold mine. And then the third people that complete everything, right? So one thing to remember about number one is it's okay, right? It's okay if people bounce, because one, not everybody's going to be your client, and two, you could still get them back. How? You need to set up remarketing. This is something, again, that I teach you in the implementation guide. So that also includes how to get your providers free and paid, how to get clients free and paid, and so many good things. So check it out, at least read over it, especially if you're starting out, because you get a huge discount. But basically, those people, you're not finished. You should have remarketing set up. So if they go on Facebook or Google or Instagram, whatever it may be, you hit them with an ad. That's what we do, because they might not be your client today, but if they see enough ads, okay, they might be next time or in a month or two. Okay, maybe they didn't have good service with the first provider, whoever they went with. Maybe they didn't even go with somebody, but later you always will be in front of them, in front of their eyes. That's part of branding and marketing. They see so many ads always hitting them. So whoever ends up on your booking form, you should be targeting anyways, right? I mean, whether it's your lead form that you're using or booking form or this combination, you should be targeting. So those are the first set of clients, right? You should always be targeting, whether they left or not. Two, the people that didn't finish, and this could be for whatever reason, right? They might be here, and now let's say they went to the next step, and oh, I don't have uh, they don't have the spot that I want. Okay, and this is something that you should have, right? Join a waiting list, because this is going to be a game changer for you guys as well. You need to include that, because they could pick whatever spot they want. And inside of BookingKoala, what's nice about that is, I'll show you, there is a wait list, or there's an unassigned folder, which is super powerful. So there's this unassigned folder, and all of the jobs are in here. So if someone puts themselves on a wait list, you get to do a couple things from here. Okay, you get to assign it to someone. Of course, you don't want to do that, because unless you talk to someone and they were willing to pick that job up, which is nice, because it will save you money. But you can also send invitation. So if you send invitation, you could send an invite to every single person um, that's there or available or not available, and be like, hey, I know you don't work today, but you want to pick this up. If they don't, then you could send a reminder, be like, what about an extra 10% for this job? Okay, saves you a ton of revenue. You have to have wait lists. Okay, it's super simple. This, and they just pick the date and time, and they go in there. And also providers, if you allow them to, or you allow specific ones to, they get to see this folder too. So you'll see, once they get used to this folder and you teach them what this is about, they check this nonstop. And they may not be working that day, but they're going to see this job come in. They're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything today. Let me take it. Okay, it's worth it, because it's a lot of money or whatever it may be. Huge thing. Okay, there's also a reason why this is here. Okay, or the schedulers here, because here a lot of friction happens, and here the customers already gave you information. So here is where people may bounce, because again, you might not have time that they want, or they just don't know what time they want yet. They're kind of still in the stages where they're thinking about it and stuff like that. And then of course they go to the next step. I'll pick somebody here. um, they will go here, and this is where they complete it. Again, some people will bounce here, and this is what's nice. You have the information, right? So from the leads module, you have we're going to go into the funnel, you have your person, and now you start working with them. So there's setups inside of BookingKoala where you could combine leads and campaigns to do this automatically. So the moment someone bounces, an SMS is sent to them, maybe a hour later, be like, hey, you forgot to check out. Then maybe the next day, things like that. So you could set up emails and text that way from campaigns, super important. And that is going to recover a lot of money on its own. The next secret sauce is, now don't stop there. The moment a lead comes in, have your customer service rep, your VA, whatever you guys have, call. The quicker they call, the quicker you um, get the person to book. And this is part of the leads, right? This is exactly what leads would do. Leads come in, you go in after the person right away, try to get them to book. Super important. But here, you literally win because you collect the lead, and at the same time you let the other people book and complete the booking. No resources needed. You make customers happy. You give them the option. You need to do that. Okay, so um, that is the setup. That is the engine if you guys want a lot of bookings. Another thing, I guess, while I'm here, that I want you guys to remember is this part. Huge. Okay, a lot of people do not want to show reviews here, but you guys should activate reviews during this step. Because look, if I'm a customer and I'm booking here, I came to you because, okay, you maybe have a good reputation on Google, Yelp, whatever it may be, but now I come here and I see, okay, the provider I'm booking with is, wow, 707 jobs completed. That's amazing. 4.5. That's amazing. In my head, I get reassurance that I'm booking with an excellent provider. There should be no issues. And if there are issues, they're going to think twice. They're going to be like, well, that can't be. There's no way these are fake, because that's way too many jobs completed. This is just something that's going to bother them, and they're going to be like, you know what? Instead of going somewhere else, this maybe was a one-off thing. Let me call them and find someone new, and you will see this works. And that we hear that's a few times. Oh, I'm not going to say so many times, but a few times over the phone. So if a few people tell you this, imagine how many people are thinking this. Okay, and this will save you a ton of time, or a ton of customers, because it's like a reassurance thing. And this is something I also tell you in the implementation guide, why you guys shouldn't want to disable the reviews, why you should be collecting so many of these. There's several amazing reasons to do that. So get the implementation guide, set everything up properly. Don't listen to people that might not be looking out for your best interest. I'm telling you, I definitely am, because if you guys are not using BookingKoala, then nobody here is growing, nobody here is making money, the company is not growing. And that's my absolute biggest goal. I want the company to keep on growing, so I have to give you the best information in order for you guys to make the most money. Okay, so this is the setup. This is the video that is pretty much the setup, the engine of how you guys should operate. Okay, if you guys are not giving high ticket prices. And if you guys are, you can still do this based on estimates and things like that. That's how other people kind of run that give high tickets. This is not a final price. This is an estimate, because everybody wants to know what something costs. Everybody. And you'll see eventually that's what it's going to be. Even plumbers that are charging $15,000, they will need to give you an estimate on their website. And a lot of people already do. And that's how you should be doing things, because that builds trust. You're already giving things up front. And if they leave due to price, you can still get them back. And that's what some people tell you. Well, I want to collect the lead because they see the price, they're never going to come back. That's not true. You could still get them back with remarketing, nurture them while you're still the best, maybe a coupon after a while if they don't book, or just build value that is going to get them to come back. So in a way, everybody should be giving at least some kind of estimate on their website to get people back. Okay. I hope that this video helped you guys out. Good luck.